Hey guys, in this video I want to take it back and offer a new perspective on the id, ego, and superego psyches. But to begin, the only thing that is the same is the definition that Freud said himself. So the id is still the instinctive mind, the ego is the physical mind, and the superego is the emotional mind. It correlates to the picture that I have of that pyramid that starts at the bottom with the body, and then to the spirit is the highest level. Um, so the only thing that differentiates between his perspective and my own is that the id, ego, and superego are just different levels of awareness on that pyramid that I had. So cool. All right. When you ask someone what the mind is, it's a high probability that a picture of the brain popped into their head. The truth is, the fact that you were able to visualize a brain is the mind itself. So as I perceive it, the ego, superego, and id are three different levels of awareness. And like for Freud, I am also going to say they are the three minds. The first mind is the first level of awareness, the ego. The ego mind is basically the video I made titled Increasing Consciousness Through Subconscious Awareness. I claim the cerebral cortex is basic consciousness and is literally only influenced by the physical senses. The collective ego mind today is materialism. So if the ego mind equals the cerebral cortex, the superego is the limbic system. The video titled Emotional Memories Began in Motion explains the awareness of the emotional level. This level is personal and carries a lot of who you are as a person thoughts. What remains of the brain is the brainstem and cerebellum. Cerebellum. And that is the id state of mind. They call this the monkey brain because it's instinctive and it's only after pleasure. But I call bullshit on that because at this level of awareness, it is actually pure serenity and your thoughts are imaginations. Original thoughts and shit. So now if you see the conscious mind from this perspective, my conscious is my id mind, my subconscious is still the emotional mind, and the physical body, the cerebral cortex, is the unconscious mind. Psych. I use it to let my imagination run wild. In my opinion, the conscious mind today is switched, claiming that the ego, cerebral cortex, is a higher awareness, when the reality is that the higher awareness is your id mind, which is mainstreamed as unconscious. There's literally a whole other awareness, but it is considered unconscious today, because stigma says it's bad thoughts and only after the pleasure principle. But I think it's switched because playing with your nature opens your perception to your knowledge of good and evil energy. In conclusion, it seems like an agenda is being pushed to only be aware of the cerebral reality. It just seems odd that we have different levels of awareness and one is completely unconscious to us. Honestly, it could be that we are unaware for humanity's sake, because history looks like we go bad pretty quick, and messing with spiritual energy could get ugly. I mean, you control your mind and what level of awareness you need it to be at. So at the end of the day, it's your free will. Um, to start it though, it starts with meditation. Well, for me, it did, and meditation basically shuts up a whole lot of things, makes everything shut up in a sense, which only lets you really understand who you really are. So I don't know. I think there's naturally good and evil people. It's the balance part that's why it's both there. But hell yeah, the mind was a long ass journey. And I'm tired, so I'm going to bed. It's daytime. I'm taking a nap.